Have you ever felt that moment of panic when your patient's oxygen levels start dropping and you hear those gargling sounds coming from their tracheostomy? Knowing exactly how to perform tracheostomy suctioning correctly isn't just a skill. It could be the difference between life and death for your patient. Today, I'll break down the entire process step by step, giving you the confidence to perform this essential procedure safely and effectively. Hey everyone, welcome back. Today we're covering a critical nursing skill, tracheostomy suctioning. Tracheostomy suctioning maintains airway patency by removing secretions patients cannot clear on their own. When performed correctly, it improves oxygenation and prevents complications like mucus plugging. However, when done incorrectly, it can lead to hypoxia, tracheal trauma, infection, and even cardiac arrest. In this video, we'll cover the following: indications for suctioning, equipment needed, the step-by-step procedure, potential complications, and special considerations. Indications for suctioning. Suctioning should be performed based on clinical assessment, not on rigid schedule. The key indications are the following: visible secretions at the tracheostomy opening, audible gargling or rattling sounds during breathing, increased work of breathing or respiratory distress, decreased oxygen saturation, increased peak airway pressures in ventilated patients, ineffective coughing, changes in breath sounds, particularly coarse crackles. Remember, a strong cough is actually the best form of suctioning. Always encourage effective coughing before resorting to suctioning. Before beginning, gather these supplies: suction machine with collection canister, connecting tubing, sterile suction catheters, the appropriate size, sterile and clean gloves, sterile normal saline or water for rinsing, sterile container for solution, PPEs, mask, eye protection, gown, oxygen source with delivery device, resuscitation bag or ambu bag connected to oxygen, pulse oximeter. For catheter size selection, use one that's no more than half the internal diameter of the tracheostomy tube. For most adults, this is typically a 12 to 14 French catheter. Before suctioning, you have to assess respiratory status, includes rate, rhythm, depth, oxygen saturation, work of breathing, breath sounds, secretion characteristics. Check for relevant medical history, increased intracranial pressure, bleeding disorders, recent tracheal surgery, tracheostomy tube details. Check for type and size, duration in place, cuff status, presence of inner cannula. This assessment helps determine the need for suctioning and any special precautions required. Explain the procedure to the patient. Perform hand hygiene and don PPE. Position the patient in semi-Fowler's position, 30 to 45 degrees if not contraindicated. Turn on suction device and set the pressure. Adults, normally 100 to 120 millimeters of mercury. For children, 80 to 100 millimeters of mercury. For infants, 60 to 80 mmHg. Open sterile supplies, maintaining sterility. Pour sterile solution into the sterile container. Apply sterile gloves, keeping your dominant hand completely sterile. Connect the suction catheter to the suction tubing with your sterile hand. Test the suction by placing the catheter tip in the sterile solution and occluding the control port. Pre-oxygenate the patient for 30 to 60 seconds. For ventilated patients, use 100% oxygen or suction button. For non-ventilated patients, provide supplemental oxygen or use an ambu bag. Pre-oxygenation is crucial to prevent hypoxemia. Never skip this step. With your sterile hand, insert the catheter into the tracheostomy tube. Without applying suction, choose one of these techniques. Shallow suctioning. Insert just to the end of the tracheostomy tube. Pre-measured suctioning. Measure the length of the tracheostomy tube using the obturator. Then insert to that depth. Deep suctioning. Insert until you meet resistance, then pull back 1 centimeter. Use only when necessary. Apply suction by placing your thumb over the control port while slowly withdrawing the catheter. Use a rotating motion during withdrawal. Limit each suction pass to no more than 10 seconds to prevent hypoxia. Allow the patient to rest and recover for at least 30 seconds between passes. Provide oxygen during this time. Assess the patient's response and secretion characteristics. Rinse the catheter with sterile solution between passes. Repeat as needed, but generally limit to 2 to 3 passes per session. Rinse the catheter and tubing with sterile solution. Disconnect and properly dispose of the catheter and gloves. Ensure the patient is comfortable and has returned to their baseline oxygen delivery. Perform a post-procedure assessment. Document the procedure thoroughly. For patients on mechanical ventilator, a closed suction system allows suctioning without disconnecting from the ventilator. Perform hand hygiene and don PPE. Unlock the suction control mechanism if necessary. Set appropriate suction pressure. Use the ventilator's pre-oxygenation function if available. Advance through the sleeve without applying suction. Apply suction while withdrawing the catheter less than 10 seconds. Withdraw completely back into the sleeve. Flush the catheter by depressing the irrigation port while applying suction. Lock the control mechanism if applicable. Assess and document. The advantage is reduced infection risk and maintained PEEP, though it may be less effective for thick secretions. Here are some of the complications and preventions. Hypoxemia. Always pre-oxygenate. Limit suctioning to 10 seconds or less. Allow recovery time between passes. Monitor oxygen saturation continuously. Tracheal trauma. Use appropriate catheter size. Insert gently without force. Apply suction only during withdrawal. Use rotating motion during withdrawal. Ensure adequate lubrication. Infection. Maintain a strict aseptic technique. Use sterile catheters and solutions. Change equipment according to policy. Perform thorough hand hygiene. Use appropriate PPE. Cardiovascular complications. Monitor heart rate and rhythm. Beware that suctioning can stimulate the vagus nerve, causing bradycardia. Stop if significant changes occur. Special considerations. For pediatric patients, use lower suction pressures. Use smaller catheter sizes. Be vigilant about limiting suctioning time. Consider having an assistant. Use distraction techniques when appropriate. For patients with thick secretions, ensure adequate hydration. Provide appropriate humidification. Consider instilling a small amount of 0.5 to 1 ml of sterile normal saline. Consult about mucolytic medications if needed. For patients with bleeding disorders, use extra gentle technique. Consider using a smaller catheter. Limit the number of passes. Be prepared to apply pressure if bleeding occurs. Monitor for signs of bleeding afterward. Here are some troubleshooting common issues. Unable to pass the catheter. Never force the catheter. Check patient positioning. Look for kinks in the tube. Try changing the angle. Notify the physician if resistance persists. For thick secretions, ensure adequate hydration and humidification. Consider saline installation. Consult about nebulized treatments. Use appropriate catheter size. For patient desaturation, stop suctioning immediately. Provide 100% oxygen. Allow for full recovery before attempting again. Consider shorter passes. Ensure adequate pre-oxygenation. For documentation, document the following: date and time, indication for suctioning, pre-suctioning assessment, pre-oxygenation method, technique used, number of passes, secretion characteristics. This includes amount, color, consistency, and odor, patient tolerance, complications and interventions. Post-suctioning assessment. Effectiveness. Tracheostomy suctioning requires knowledge, practice, and attention to detail. Remember these key points. Suction based on assessment, not on rigid schedule. Always pre-oxygenate. Use the appropriate catheter size. Limit suctioning to 10 seconds or less. Apply suction only during withdrawal. Monitor the patient closely. Document thoroughly. Thank you for watching. If you found this helpful, please like and subscribe. Leave any questions in the comments below. Until next time. Once again, this is NurseBrain, inspiring greatness one lesson at a time.